How many times have you been with a woman? Everything felt right, the chemistry was there, and yet you still froze because you did not know if it was the right moment to kiss her. You felt her energy, you felt the tension, but your mind started playing games with you. Is it too soon? Am I misreading this? What if she turns away and it gets awkward? And while you are trapped inside your own head, the moment quietly dies. She feels your hesitation, the tension collapses, and what could have been a powerful, intimate moment becomes just another memory of you not acting. In this video, I am going to give you something that most men never receive in their entire life. A clear, structured, psychologically grounded way to recognize the exact moment when you should kiss her. Not before, not after. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you will never again sit there overthinking while the perfect moment slips through your fingers. First, you need to understand that the kiss is not just a romantic action. It is a psychological signal. For a woman, a kiss is the bridge between emotional safety and sexual attraction. If you try to cross that bridge too early, you come across as pushy, insensitive, or simply unaware. If you wait too long, she starts to think you are not confident, not truly attracted, or that you only see her as a friend. Timing is not about luck. Timing is about reading her nervous system, her body language, her emotional state. Research in psychology and nonverbal communication has shown that attraction and comfort follow patterns. People show very specific cues when they feel safe, when they feel drawn towards someone, and when they are ready for more intimacy. Your job as a man who leads is to learn to read those patterns and act with calm, grounded decisiveness. Most men think the moment to kiss a woman is decided by the clock. On the first date, after 2 hours, or after the third date, or after the second drink. That is how an inexperienced man thinks. The truth is that the exact moment has nothing to do with the clock and everything to do with the emotional temperature between you and her. Imagine a scale that goes from cold to warm to hot. At cold, she is not emotionally invested. At warm, she is enjoying you. She is comfortable. She is open. At hot, the tension is alive. There is attraction, curiosity, and a sexual charge between you. The kiss belongs at the meeting point between warm and hot, when she feels safe enough to relax and attracted enough to welcome your advance. Too early, and you are trying to kiss her while she is still emotionally cold. Too late, and the temperature drops again, and she feels like you missed the moment. Here is the mindset shift you need to adopt right now. As a masculine man, your role is not to wait for some magical sign to fall from the sky. Your role is to guide the interaction toward that moment, step by step, and then have the courage to act when the conditions are right. You are not a boy waiting for permission. You are a man reading reality. When you understand this, kissing her becomes less about getting it right and more about expressing what you genuinely feel when you sense that she is there with you. You will still respect her boundaries completely. You will still accept a no or hesitation with grace. But you will no longer sit there paralyzed because you will know exactly what you are looking for. Now, before we get to the specific signs, you need a simple mental map of the entire interaction. Think of it as 3 phases: connection, tension, and decision. In the connection phase, you build comfort, trust, and a sense of ease. She feels that you are safe, present, and genuinely interested in her as a person. In the tension phase, you slowly add a layer of flirtation, playfulness, and subtle erotic charge. This is where eye contact deepens, where there are pauses, where your body language and hers start to synchronize. The decision phase is where you either move forward and kiss her, or you choose to slow down and let the tension simmer for another time. Most men rush the tension phase, or they skip it completely. They try to jump from simple conversation straight into a kiss, and that is why it feels forced. What I am giving you here is the ability to move through these phases deliberately and naturally. Think about the last time you truly felt drawn to someone, not just physically, but emotionally. There was a moment when silence felt comfortable instead of awkward. There was a moment when just looking at the other person made you feel something in your chest or in your stomach. That is the emotional curve you need to learn to recognize in her. As the interaction progresses, there is a buildup of micro signals, longer eye contact, more openness in her posture, more playful teasing, more leaning in. These are not random. They are markers on the path toward that exact moment. Many studies on nonverbal communication show that people unconsciously synchronize their movements, their breathing, and even their heart rate when they feel emotionally connected and attracted. So when you are with her, you are not just listening to her words. You are observing the entire system: her eyes, her shoulders, the rhythm of her voice, the way she touches her own hair or neck when she looks at you. Now, let us talk about the first essential condition for the kiss: relative privacy and isolation. It does not mean you have to be completely alone in a hidden place. It means that the environment should feel intimate enough for her to relax into the moment. If there are too many eyes on you, if there is too much noise, if she feels watched or judged, she will automatically become more guarded. A woman might laugh, flirt, and even touch you in a loud bar, but that does not mean she wants you to try to kiss her right there in front of everyone. Your responsibility is to gently guide the interaction into a space where the energy can slow down. This might be as simple as suggesting a short walk outside, moving to a quieter corner, sitting side by side instead of across the table, or standing slightly apart from the crowd. When the world becomes a little more distant and the two of you feel like you are in your own bubble, you are getting closer to the exact moment. The second condition is emotional connection. She needs to feel that you are not just trying to win a kiss as some kind of achievement, but that you truly see her. Connection is built through presence and curiosity. When you ask questions, actually listen to the answers. When she talks, look at her, not at your phone or around the room. When you share something about yourself, do it with calm confidence, not trying to impress her, but simply revealing who you are. A strong connection is often felt in the quality of silence between you. If you can pause for a second, look at her, and both of you feel comfortable in that silence, that is a powerful indicator. A woman feels ready to be kissed when she feels emotionally safe in your presence, when she senses that you are grounded, and when she sees that you care about her experience, not just your own desire. The third condition is physical proximity. You cannot kiss her from across the table or from a distance that feels like two strangers waiting for a bus. The body has its own language. When she is ready to be kissed, she will usually allow the distance between you to shrink. Maybe she leans closer when you speak. Maybe her knees or feet are pointed toward you. Maybe she adjusts her chair so she is more in front of you. Or she stands a little closer when you walk side by side. You should be aware of this and consciously bring your body closer in a respectful, gradual way. Sit next to her instead of across from her when it feels natural. When you walk, move just slightly closer so that your arms occasionally touch. When you stand, angle your body toward hers, not fully squared like you are confronting her, but slightly turned, relaxed, inviting. As the distance closes, you are literally entering the space where a kiss becomes physically possible. Now let us talk about the green lights. These are the signs that her body and her behavior are giving you that she is open to more intimacy. None of them alone is a guarantee, but when several line up, you know you are close to the exact moment. One of the strongest signals is eye contact. When she looks at you, holds your gaze a little longer than necessary, and does it repeatedly, that is powerful. If she looks down and then back up at you with a small smile, that is another strong sign. If her eyes move from your eyes to your lips and back again, she is telegraphing interest very clearly. Pay attention also to her facial expressions. A soft, relaxed face, a gentle smile, slightly parted lips, and a slight head tilt are all signs of comfort and curiosity. These are signals the nervous system sends when a person feels both safe and attracted. But nonverbal green lights go beyond the face. Look at her body orientation. Is she facing you directly? Is she leaning in when you speak, even when she does not need to? Does she find excuses to be closer, like moving her drink nearer to yours or shifting her seat to close the gap? Notice also her self-touch. If she plays with her hair while looking at you, touches her neck, collarbone, or lips while interacting with you, this can be a sign of heightened emotional arousal. Again, none of this means you must kiss her, but it means her body is engaged. Your job is to collect these signals and let them inform your decision. Now we look at her verbal and behavioral investment. This matters because attraction without investment is fragile. A woman who is truly drawn to you will often start to invest more into the interaction. She will ask you questions. She will bring up new topics. She will share personal details. She will tease you playfully. She will try to keep the conversation going instead of letting it die. She might compliment you indirectly, comment on your style, your smell, or the way you made her laugh earlier. These are not random comments. They are ways of telling you, I am paying attention to you. In influence and persuasion research, this is called compliance and commitment. When someone repeatedly chooses to engage, to stay longer, to reveal more, they are emotionally committing, even in small ways. You can also test this investment in small, respectful ways. For example, you can suggest changing locations. Let us go over there where it is quieter. Or, let us grab some fresh air outside for a moment. If she agrees easily and follows your lead, it is a sign of comfort and trust. If she resists and gives excuses, it may mean she is not ready to move things forward. You can also propose small physical interactions, like a playful high five, a fist bump, or a light hand touch when you are joking about something. The key is to see how she responds. If she accepts and reciprocates with her own touch or smile, that is positive. If she pulls away quickly, stiffens up, or gives nervous laughter without eye contact, you need to slow down and reposition the interaction back into comfort. Now we get into tension building, which is where most men fail. They either do not build enough tension, so the kiss feels out of nowhere, or they build tension but escape from it because they are uncomfortable. Tension is not about being aggressive. Tension is the energy that exists in the space between you when something might happen. You create it by slowing down, by being fully present, by allowing silence, and by letting your eyes communicate what you feel. One powerful tool is the triangle gaze, moving your eyes slowly from one of her eyes to the other, then briefly to her lips and back to her eyes. Done calmly and sparingly, this signals interest in a subtle way and often makes her more aware of her own lips and yours. Your voice is another instrument of tension. When you talk about something more intimate or personal, slightly lower your tone, slow your pace, and give space between your sentences. When you pause and simply look at her for a second, the air between you becomes charged. Most men panic in that pause and rush to fill it with words. Do not. Let the pause exist. Let her feel you looking at her. Let her feel that you are comfortable with the possibility of more. Often, in that silence, she will look at your lips, lean closer, or play with her hair. Those are reactions to the tension you created. This is the space where the exact moment is born. To manage this tension properly, you need to know how to escalate your touch gradually, like climbing a ladder instead of jumping to the top. Start with neutral, socially acceptable touches. A brief touch on her arm when you laugh, a light tap on her elbow when you make a joke, a quick guide on her lower back when you move through a crowd, always light and non-invasive. Then observe. If she accepts those touches, does not move away, or even initiates her own touch, you can gently increase the intimacy. Maybe your hand stays on her arm for just a second longer. Maybe your knees or thighs touch lightly when you sit side by side and she does not move away. Maybe she rests her hand near yours in a way that makes it easy for you to take it. At every step, you are reading feedback. If she pulls back, she is telling you she is not comfortable at that level, and you respect that immediately. You do not get upset. You do not show disappointment. You simply lighten the energy, make a joke, and move the interaction back to a level where she feels safe. When a woman sees that you respect her boundaries without making it dramatic, her trust in you increases. Ironically, that can make her more open to intimacy later, because she knows you are not going to push her past her limits. Now, here is the part you have been waiting for, the pre-kiss test. This is the moment where you test the waters with maximum respect and sensitivity. You do not ask, "Can I kiss you?" in a needy or uncertain voice, putting all the pressure on her. Instead, you create a moment that naturally leads to the kiss and gives her space to show you whether she is ready. Here is how you do it. You have already built connection. You have already moved into a slightly more private space. You have already closed the distance between you. You are talking softly, and there is eye contact. Then, you gradually slow the conversation down. You say something more personal, something more vulnerable, or you simply lower your voice and let a comfortable pause appear. Then, during that pause, you look into her eyes, gently shift your gaze to her lips for a brief moment, and then back to her eyes. You do this slowly, without rushing. At the same time, you move your body just a little bit closer to hers, maybe a few centimeters, not more. You do not lunge forward. You do not make a sudden movement. You give her time to respond. If she holds your gaze, if she looks at your lips, if she does not move away, and especially if she moves closer or tilts her head slightly, those are clear green lights. She is telling you with her body, "I am here with you." If, on the other hand, she turns her head away, steps back, breaks eye contact in a nervous way, or starts talking fast to kill the silence, she is not ready. You immediately respect that. You smile. You ease the moment with a light comment, and you move the interaction back to a more neutral space. You do not push. This is crucial. Being a powerful man is not about forcing outcomes. It is about being deeply attuned and respectful. When you show that you can sense her no and handle it with grace, you become more attractive, not less.